Howdy people, welcome to another video on the channel. Excuse that I'm dressed like I'm about to partake in a Star Wars film. It's cold, I'm slightly ill, so that is why, yeah. But that is not going to stop me from producing the greatest Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace match preview that you are going to see, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably because it's going to be the only one, but still, set the bar high. But yeah, without further ado, let's go. So, it's a match preview as Forest host Crystal Palace. Now, what's the most important thing going into this game? The form. So, Forest form we'll kickstart with. It's not been too bad. We had a 1-1 draw against Wolves, which really we should have won. Obviously, the very good result against Liverpool, 1-0 away win. 2-2 draw with Brighton, a good result. Then we had the rotter, let's not beat around the bush, the 1-0 loss to Fulham. And then most recently, the very good point away against Chelsea. So overall, the form going into the game is not too bad, other than the Fulham game and the Wolves game. I don't think that is a bad set of results going into the Crystal Palace game. Now looking at Palace's form, they also drew to Chelsea 1-1, drew to Leicester 2-2 from 2-0 down, which is quite impressive to be fair. 0-0 draw against Man United, not too bad. Then they lose to, at that time, winless Everton. They lose 2-1, following going 1-0 up. And also losing 1-0 to Liverpool as well. You know, not everyone can beat Liverpool, lads. It's okay. So going into this, we are going into this game on the much better form. The Everton game for Crystal Palace is going to be really dampen their spirits. It's going to, you know, it's not going to feel great for them. And we're going into the game off the back of a much better result. You know, getting a good point against Chelsea, and we could have easily won it at the end as well. So we're going to be going into this with more confidence than Crystal Palace. However, that doesn't mean anything, because if you look at our home form, it has been pretty crap, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say dreadful, but crap's probably a good word. Draw with Bournemouth, which at the time was a terrible result, was seeming our record against Bournemouth. A draw with Wolves, we should really be winning that. Seems they have just picked up 1 point all season, and that was against us, so pretty poor, to be honest. And the 1-0 loss to Fulham. As much as Fulham are a decent side, you know, they've had a good start to the season, it's still not been, you know, it still was not a very impressive result, and also a dreadful performance as well. However, going into this game, looking at, you know, the history books, we've actually got quite a good record against Crystal Palace. So I've got data that goes back to 1921. And we've got a very good record against Palace. Crystal Palace have only beaten us 16 times. We have drawn 22 times. We have won 29 times. So there has been a lot of draws, especially recently. Crystal Palace games against Forest have often been very close games, you know. Not much in it. It's sort of like, you know, 1 goal in it sort of games, you know. A lot of draws recently. Since us being promoted back to the Premier League, we've played each other 4 times already. This will be our 5th occasion playing each other. There's only been 1 time where either side has won. We beat them 1-0 quite a while ago, and it's just been draws ever since. Last season, 0-0 and a 1-1 draw as well. In terms of, you know, last season, very little happened. I can only remember, I think it was Chris Wood's looping header that we scored. Genuinely, they tend to be quite forgettable games. I can remember Murillo's run that he was unlucky not to score in a 0-0 draw, and I can remember Chris Wood's looping header to get us a point last season. So they don't tend to be very memorable games. However, our performances at the City Ground and results at the City Ground haven't been good. So I think this is a good opportunity to just get the result. The result is the most important thing, more than the performance. If we could just get a result, it doesn't matter if it's exciting, if we play great or not. Just getting the win, even if it's 1-0, no matter what. With the form we're on at the City Ground, a 1-0 win is just as good and is just as valuable as a 4-0 win. Just to get the momentum going at home. Now looking at the key threats that both sides will possess going into the game, the doubt is that there is going to probably be no Morgan Gibbs White. It's not a guarantee, but I would say probably a 60% chance in favour of him not playing, which I think is fair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had to withdraw from international duty because he got injured. Apparently it's not as severe as what we thought. There's stuff saying that he could play, but realistically, even if he can play, I would still start him on the bench. We have got adequate players that deserve opportunities that can come in. We've got Jota Silva, who's ready and raring to go. We've got Roman Sosa, who did very well in the Brighton game. Hasn't really seen a sniff of getting on the pitch since then, though. So we have got players that could come in and do a good job as well. And listen, if it does go wrong, we've still got then Gibbs White to bring on for a bit of impact in the second half if needed. But in terms of our key threats, we've obviously got Hudson-Odoi. He was a little bit quiet by his standards against Chelsea, but still, we've got Chris Wood, clinical Premier League goal scorer at the moment, and Ryan Yates has been on tremendous form so far this season. So those I would say our main threats going into the game. For Crystal Palace, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I've not watched a single Crystal Palace game this season. From highlights, clips, tweets, stuff like that, Eze seems to have done all right. That is really as far as I could go. Obviously, we've got to have to go off merit as well. Eze has been fantastic since being at Crystal Palace. So I think we've got to put him down as a threat as well. And in terms of defence, Mark Guay, he's going to be obviously a difficult opponent for Chris Wood to handle. Obviously, well aware from that because I watched every single England game, much to my joy at the Euros. So, yeah, there is still, despite Palace not being great so far this season, not winning a game in the Premier League, they've still got some very good players, some very well-respected and well-regarding players, and a lot of talent in the squad. However, this is how I would like to see us start against Palace. Sells in goal, Moreno, Milenkovic, Murillo, and Aina as the back four. Undisputed, there's no arguments about that. Sells got us at that point against Chelsea. Fantastic play. Milenkovic was absolutely superb against Chelsea. Got the assist for Chris Wood. Murillo's Murillo, been fantastic. Aina and Moreno have been top-notch as well. Nico Williams has impressed on international duty though, but I don't see a reason to disturb the back four. I think Nico Williams is a good player. If we need to go a little bit more offensive, last 15 or so minutes, stick him on at right back as well. Can push a bit further up the pitch as well. Could also cover at left back, but mainly at right back. In terms of the midfield, Ward-Prowse is obviously suspended. I would go with a double pivot of Elliot Anderson, who has been very solid for us since signing from Newcastle. Not really putting a poor performance so far as well. And obviously Ryan Yates. I say obviously, to some people that might not be, but I think he's probably been our most underrated player this season. He has not put a foot wrong. In big games, he has stepped up to the mark. He has disturbed the balance and the rhythm of some world-class oppositions like Chelsea, like Liverpool. He has been top-notch for us, and I would like to see him captain the side as well with the inevitability of no Morgan Gibbs-White. In terms of on the wings and in attack, this is where it could get a little bit different, as you can see with what's on your screen. Chris Wood's going to be leading the line. I would have Hudson-Odoi playing off the left. Now, this is where there could be a little bit of debate to be had here. I would have Sousa as a number 10 and Jota Silva off the wing. I just think Sousa's abilities and attributes would suit more to a number 10 and Jota Silva's attributes to more as a sort of inside forward, sort of on the right hand side as well. Like, Silva deserves such a good opportunity. He deserves a start. He deserves a good 50-60 minutes. See what he's made of, see what he can do, because he's been beating Virgil van Dijk to headers. He's been getting assists. He's been doing fantastic, and he deserves a shot at starting. Finally, for my score prediction and how I think the game will go. Listen, Palace games that never tend to be really entertaining. I think this is going to be a one goal in its sort of game, and we need to win. As I've said earlier on, the result is so much more important than performance. I will from a fan perspective, I'll be okay if we play a little bit crap as long as we get the win, obviously. And I don't think anyone would really complain about that. But especially this game, we need to get off the mark. We need to get the victory at home. We've had 3 games against teams in the general vicinity of the table as us, and we're yet to win any of them. We've drawn 2 of them. We need to show that clinical edge and get the win. And I have optimism that we will. I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be first on match of the day, ladies and gentlemen. But I think we'll get the job done. I think Chris Wood is going to score off the back of a Jota Silva cross, and I will very, very much take that. And it'll be a perfect start to resume back from international break, and I'll be very happy with that. I don't think the first half anything's going to happen. I think there's going to be very few shots. Not much is going to happen in the slightest. But then the second half, we're going to get going. I think around 55 to 65 minutes, that's when the goal will come. And then for the last 15-20 minutes, we're just going to shut up shop and just keep them out. And I think we're just about going to do that successfully with a 1-0 Forest win. Hopefully that does come true. But thank you for watching my match preview. Make sure you slap a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, follow the socials, linked in the description, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.